Hello, everybody, and welcome to Dishing with Stephanie's Dish, the podcast where we talk to people in the food space, many times cookbook authors, other times makers. And this particular episode, we are talking to Kristie LaLonde. She is the Happy Hostess Collective. And Kristie and I found each other through a listener of my radio show. My friend Jilly in Minnesota we call them dishers, weekly dishers. That's the name of the radio show. And Jilly's been a disher for over 18 years. We've had the show, and I think she's listened as long as we've had it. And she reached out to me because in my Substack, I have a Sunday newsletter, and I did a whole thing about entertaining and how I love when people just entertain, and people make entertaining so complicated, and it doesn't need to be. And I offered to give a round of cookbooks to people that have cookbook clubs because I think they're so fun. And Jilly replied and said, I have this great cookbook club. We would love it if we could win your books. And she is part of the Happy Hostess Cookbook Club. So they won. Jilly got the books. I sent books to all the people in the cookbook group that Jilly's in. And Kristie is the leader of the Happy Hostess Collective. Kristie, welcome to the program. I'm delighted to have you.
Thank you. I am so excited to be here.
So, explain to the audience what the Happy Hostess Collective is and all the different avenues that you have for fostering your love of cookbooks and clubbing.
Well, I am on Instagram as Happy Hostess Collective, but for our cookbook club, it's actually called Happy Cookbook Party because I couldn't really think of a good name. It's not a great name because it doesn't really let you know it's a cookbook club, but we there's a lot of emphasis on party in it.
Yeah.
So basically it's a cookbook club, but instead of meeting in person most of the time, we are meeting twice a month on Zoom and we are cooking together from one cookbook, which we usually choose a cookbook and stick with that cookbook for like 3 to 4 months, depending upon how robust the cookbook is.
And people come from all over the country and tell me, like, how do you logistically do it? Do you have 30 people on a Zoom or how does it work?
Actually, we are on Zoom. And basically, what happens when we pick a book, I will go through and we have a Facebook group. And so I ask everyone, which recipes really look good to you that you're wanting to try? And then I look through all of those and make sure that they can fit within the hour to hour and a half time frame of our Zoom cook along. And then I make a schedule for the next 3 months and it's printable. I send it to them so they can print it out. And then we meet twice a month. So every 2 weeks, basically, we meet on Zoom and I send them grocery lists ahead of time for those two recipes that we choose. Sometimes it's three when we throw in a cocktail in there.
And why wouldn't
And
you?
yes, especially we usually meet at noon or 4. So the 4 o'clock ones a lot of times have the cocktail. But so we all just meet in one Zoom meeting and we all cook and I'm kind of leading it, but everyone else is talking just as much as I do because we've gotten to know each other so well and it's so fun because we really learn from each other because we have some like expert bakers and we have some people like me that not expert at all in baking and like we have some really strong florists and we just learn a lot from each other and every once in a while, we also do like a tutorial on a different thing that would have to do with being a hostess. For example, we've done flower arrangements that mimic the ones we saw in one of our cookbooks. We've done hostess gifts, like kind of homemade, cute little hostess
Yeah.
gifts at Christmas time. So it's like a wide variety of things. It's been strange. Like a lot of things have come our way. We were offered to have a Vector cocktails. It's like a cocktail mixer.
Hmm.
They offered to do like a cocktail class for
Yeah.
us. It was super fun. They sent us all their mixers and it was great. So we've
Sounds
got a
great.
chance to do a lot of stuff.
So, what is your background and how did you land here?
Well, I have always loved cooking and entertaining, even when I was little. Like I remember I had one of my cookbooks was like the Mad Magazine cookbooks. I don't know if you remember Mad Magazine,
I
but they had like
do.
a holiday thing, and I just loved it. I remember pouring through that. And it's crazy because I do that now, obviously, with grown-up cookbooks. But
Yeah.
and so that just kind of well, and then when I was very young, I was the maid of honor in 3 weddings in 1 year. So I had a crash course in how to host parties for grown-ups, and that was very fun. But I'd always really enjoyed the ideas of parties as well growing up. My parents were my father was in an industry where there were lots of fancy, fancy, famous parties
Yeah.
because we live in Kentucky, so the Derby parties and so
Yes.
I would like hear them. Like sometimes they would be on the farm that we lived on, like in the party barn. And so like I would hear the parties and I just was kind of fascinated with all of that. And it just kind of snowballed from there. But
You on the Happy Hostess Collective on your Instagram, you chronicle a lot of these parties and you have like beautiful flower arrangements. And I mean, honestly, the South is just like, I don't know why, but you guys are known for just these over the top, beautiful flower arrangements, beautiful parties, beautiful outfits. In the North, everything feels a little more like rustic and just a little more outdoorsy. But like the South just feels like china and silver and so beautiful.
yeah, there's a little bit of everything for sure in the South, but we do tend to go over the top. That is definitely the case, which makes it fun though. But and I love a big theme. It's a lot of fun and whether it's rustic theme, but it's just like kind of go all in on it. It makes it a lot of fun.
How did you figure out? Like, I think it's pretty cool that you have this whole cookbook club happening via Zoom. So there's technology there, right? And then you also have like a Facebook group. You really use social media to drive a lot of this engagement. It is a paid subscription, which I also think is cool because sometimes if you have to pay for something, you value it a little bit more or you make time for it in your schedule. How did you
Right.
learn all the technological pieces? And have you just learned by trial and error?
Well, fortunately, Zoom is fairly easy to use, and especially after COVID, everybody knows how to use Zoom, thankfully. But actually, I started an e-commerce store like before people heard of the word e-commerce.
Yep.
And I am not very technologically advanced, but I am willing to figure out whatever it is if it makes it possible for me to do what I want. And I really wanted a china and dish store, which is a big surprise. So that
Do you
I
still
had
have
it.
it?
No, I don't. I had it for almost 14 years, I think.
That's like my dream.
Oh, it was so fun. And it stopped me from buying all the dishes because I had all these gorgeous dishes like in a warehouse.
Yes.
But it's a really heavy, breakable object and not so fun to ship after a while. So I transitioned out of that and wanted to do something that didn't require shipping.
And this is brilliant because you've got new friends from all over the country. It could be all over the world, I suppose.
It definitely could be. That happens to be just the country right now. We are a small group, but it is a really fun group and it's been a great community. And I really wanted something to tie in my podcast to make it smaller. Well, obviously, with the podcast, it's only me or myself and a guest. So I really wanted to be able to like get to know my listeners better. And this
Yeah.
was the
And
perfect thing.
how did you get into podcasting? Because have had over 100 episodes all about this topic of hostessing.
Basically, it was the sick of being shipping things. So I thought, okay, well, we could start the podcast. I wasn't really sure what direction it was going to take, but I thought that it would be a good avenue for me to get started. And it kind of led to this.
One of the topics that was on your recent podcast that I was kind of interested in, because I think that it has changed so much since COVID, is the whole idea of having a party and the RSVP list. People, in my experience, tend to be very late at responding to things. And even like we're finding that restaurant reservations, people will make four reservations and cancel three with really no thought about it. Like it's just
Oh,
we're in a very quick societal change. And you talked a lot about how to get people to RSVP, how important RSVPs are. What were some of your tips there?
well, it sounds a little old school, but one of them was to actually have a physical invitation delivered to
Amen.
them.
Amen, sister. This whole like, you're gonna send me a digital something. It's fine. It's great as like a reminder, but I don't think it's the same as like getting an actual invitation to something.
I agree. And for one thing, it's less likely to be forgotten because a lot of times they put it on the refrigerator or somewhere they can see it. And then also like it's shocking when you get something in the mail that isn't a bill today, you know?
Yeah.
So it seems more special.
This is kind of a weird aside, but I used to run a direct mail company, so I love direct mail.
Oh,
And the number one growing category for direct mail is 18 to 34 because they love getting offers in the mail because getting mail feels so special now and so unique.
you're kidding.
Oh, it's
Oh,
like it's coming back.
that is so interesting.
And the
Oh, wow.
catalog companies have always had a robust business using the mail. They've maybe pared down their catalogs a little bit, or they might have specialty offerings, but people are still sending a lot of catalogs.
Oh goodness. Well, I'm so glad because I just thought I was like old school because I really like to have books in my hands. I like getting catalogs if it's from a business that I
Yeah.
like. I thought I was the only one though.
No, you are not. What other kinds of trends are you noticing in just entertaining in general, good or bad?
Well, touching on one that I did recently, I did a small series on baby showers. And wow, things have changed since I was having babies for sure, like drastically. Um, some some things I think are good. Like for example, a lot of times they're co-ed now, which was just a trend that had just barely started when
Yeah.
I was having children, and I think that's fun and interesting for sure. Um, but I do also think that they have gotten like kind of out of hand a little bit, and I love going over the top, like I said earlier, with a party. So I'm never gonna like shame anybody for that. But it seems like with social media coming in that everyone is seeing these highlight reels from very sophisticated baby showers.
Yeah.
Um, and so I kind of camped out in baby shower groups for like a good month, like trying to prepare for this series. And it was kind of sad, really, because people were a lot of people, not everyone, of course, but were so sad because they didn't have enough people to invite to have an almost wedding like baby shower. Like it was, and they felt defeated. It was just, it was kind of disheartening. And I mean, you could tell that they really thought that it was normal that people had to rent out a venue hall in order to have a baby shower,
Yeah.
which is not the case at all.
No. And like just making
So,
diaper cake is still pretty fun, isn't it?
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's really different. It's almost and it's a whole different vibe from a lot of people. And the thing is, I've not seen this in person, so I don't want to say that everyone's like this. Maybe it's just the vocal people on Facebook, But it seemed a lot more like this is my party, this is my thing, as opposed to someone hosting it for you.
Yeah, yeah. Well, have you watched The Mormon Housewives?
I haven't. Is it
Okay.
good?
I don't It's like so bad it's good, so wrong,
Yeah.
right? So I don't really want to like encourage anyone to do it because that's sort of guilty pleasure. But yeah, they have these big over the top, and they have a lot of kids, and they're all women under 30. So they do have these big like over the top baby showers and the baby
Right.
reveals and the baby moons. And honestly, it's just so if we get to the idea of just like entertaining, I think
Hmm.
people get so hung up on that they have to have like this special meal or that they have to spend all day in the kitchen. What would be like some of your tips for getting you to entertain more? Like barriers to overcome, I guess.
Well, I think first and foremost is to really focus on your mindset and think about why that you want to entertain. And usually it's because you want to make memories and have connections with your friends and family. So you want to make memories, and those are awesome reasons. Or you want to celebrate someone, you know, and a lot of times when we start thinking about entertaining, sometimes we can get a little nervous that maybe I'm not good enough cook, or my house isn't big enough, or I don't have enough people to invite, for example, the baby shower. And I really just recommend very first thing to do is to flip your mind and be focused on your guests. Like, what do you want to do for them? How do you want them to feel? Obviously you want them to feel welcomed in your home and that sort of thing. So if you can just focus on the guest, you usually can stop all the negative chatter in your mind because you're not focusing on yourself. And then also, most importantly, don't do everything yourself. You don't have to cook everything. You don't have to cook at all if you don't want to. That's why caterers exist.
Yeah.
I Even if you only cooked one thing that was like a signature dish, then you might it's like you did cook. So I really think that trying not to do everything and focusing on your making your guests feel welcome are very important.
I figured out late in life how easy it is to cook fish for a crowd. And that seems like a weird thing, but like if you get like a whole side of salmon, or
Hmm.
you poach a whole fish, or you even have slabs that you're just putting under the broiler, you can have like any salads prepared in advance. You can have vegetables prepared in advance. You can have a cheese platter prepared in advance. And then really like the only thing you're cooking is this side of salmon, or you've got a sauce that you've already made. I was always so afraid to cook fish, and once I kind of got over that hump, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty easy. I can cook a whole side of fish. I can feed 12 people off of it typically if I get a big enough one. And with all the sides and everything, everything's already made before they even get here.
That is perfect. And that's like the perfect example of what we're trying to do in the cookbook party is to get people to increase their repertoire of things that are very easy to entertain, because there are some delicious recipes that we make that would be a nightmare if for entertaining.
Yeah.
They take too long, they need to be done at the last minute, that sort of thing. But if you, like, for example, the fish, that all it kind of meets all the requirements. You don't have to do it at the last minute. It's easy prep, and we want to kind of it's like our entertaining arsenal, kind of find those recipes, find ways of doing things that make it simple, where if, like, for example, things that can be cooked the day before and just reheated, like carnitas, like the meat and that type of thing.
Yep.
um there's just lots of them, and we can all have our own little personal style when it comes to that. That's what makes it fun, is everyone seems like they have their own signature dishes.
What's a
And
go-to Kristie LaLonde signature entertaining dish?
well, I just mentioned one of them, carnitas. I love them. They are not, they are kind of time consuming, but it is completely you can make it whenever you want, and it tastes great the next day, reheated. It's one of those things that, can taste better, even better the same day. And people love them. Everyone seems to like them. So that's one of my go-tos. And then also like, oh gosh, I can't even remember what I call them now, but they're like the white cream enchiladas
Oh yeah.
because they can totally be made ahead of time, and all you have to do is put them in the oven, and then you can make sides easily. A lot of times, actually, with both of those things, I used to. I don't need to now, but I didn't have a good refried beans recipe that I liked, and rice is one of the few things that I really, really struggle with. I need to buy a rice cooker, is what I've been told. But so I would just order from the restaurant that's around the corner, baked beans and rice, and then serve that with them. So it was
Smart.
like it was homemade. It's in my dish. It looks homemade.
Yeah. Time saving. An
Yes.
Instant Pot is also really helpful in the rice department. If you,
Oh,
I mean, I make rice in my Instant Pot. It is a rice cooker. It's a pressure cooker, rice cooker. It cooks everything. And then also, I make risotto in there too.
oh wow. I did
Yeah.
not know that. Actually, the carnitas is about one of the few things I use my Instant Pot for. So now I got something else.
Oh, yes, I'm a big Instant Potter. In fact, one of the Facebook groups that we run for our radio show is called the Weekly Dish Instant Potters. And
Oh,
there's
okay.
some really great recipes there that people have shared or linked to. It's an open group, but it's if you're an Instant Potter, and I still am, I still love my Instant Pot. I do my slow cooker too. You can slow cook in an Instant Pot, but I also have two other slow cookers because I'm somewhat obsessed with that, um, but really helpful and easy. Is there a cookbook that you've used on the cookbook club journey that you really were like, wow, this is a great entertaining cookbook?
Yes, for sure. And most of the ones that we choose have an entertaining bent to them, typically just because of our interest in what we're trying to accomplish in the group. But Love Welcome Serve by Amy Hannon, like
Okay.
really blew my socks off. Every single recipe that we tried just seemed to be over the top delicious. It was really phenomenal. Like we've enjoyed all of our books for sure, but this one, it just really, I was blown away. And I had been told and that it really was such a good cookbook. And I finally caved and put it in there. And I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah,
And
I'm
she's,
just looking at it. It looks delightful. It's got kind of an Ina Garten feeling to it.
and she is just a very genuine, kind, hospitable person. She really, she definitely has the mindset. Like even when she's talking about making little notes, you can just see just she has such a hospitable nature.
And then the recent cookbook that you guys are doing is it Brunch with Babs?
Brunch with Babs is her account, but the book is called Celebrate with Babs.
Okay, and Babs is like everybody's favorite grandma. Her daughter, I
Yes.
think, worked in lifestyle television and has helped her create this really unbelievable social media presence and following. What is it about her books that attracted you?
Um, well, she organizes her cookbooks in the way that I always enjoy, and that is by party or event. I love cookbooks that are organized that in that fashion, and I'd heard good things about it, and so we thought we would try it.
Yeah, she's really, I think her recipes are really great. She's not
Hmm.
too fussy. She has some that are more complicated than others, but she does a lot of like semi-homemade kind of things too. Don't you wish that Sandra Lee from Semi Homemade would come back?
Oh, I know. I loved her show because
We
of the
did too.
party aspect. I absolutely loved it. And we have enjoyed Celebrate with Babs for sure. And you're right. There are a lot of like one recipe will be, kind of complicated, like you said, and one will be semi homemade. Today we have our it's our second to last cook along in Celebrate with Babs. And the theme today is looking forward to fall. So we're doing her New Pond chili, and then we're doing Mrs. Williams peanut butter bars. So I'm looking
Yum.
forward to
That
that.
sounds delicious.
Yes, that will be good for dinner.
Yes, it will be. It makes me think of my pumpkin spice espresso martini that I'd like to have with that.
Oh, that sounds good. Oh, that sounds so good.
Yeah, I'm obsessed with pumpkin spice, and my second book is kind of geared from October through April, so more fall time.
Hmm.
I really, when you go to get like a pumpkin spice something, it's usually full of such gross ingredients. And I was like, okay, we could make pumpkin spice flavor with pumpkin, right? And
Hmm.
spice, like it wouldn't be that hard. So I made a pumpkin spice cream and then used it in different recipes. And the espresso martini with pumpkin spice was delightful.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Espresso martinis are one of my absolute favorites for
Me
sure.
too. Me too. Well, it's been super great to chat with you about entertaining. Kristie, how can people follow you and what's the best way to join if they want to join the cookbook club?
Well, our website is happycookbookparty.com, and I'm on Instagram at Happy Hostess Collective if you have a question about anything. And I am excited to announce that we are doing one of your cookbooks starting in October.
Excellent. That's right on time.
Yes, I'm so excited about it. I can't wait because this is totally different. I love that we've done a lot of Southern cookbooks. Like we did Pizzazzery and the Southern Living Party Cookbook and a couple others. And then we kind of moved over to the Midwest of it with Celebrate with Babs. And so yours will be a perfect fit.
Thank you. I'm excited to have you guys do it, and I hope I can pop in and say hi while everyone's cooking because that sounds kind of fun.
Oh, I would love it. I would love it. And I would like to offer your listeners, if they want to join us, they can use the code SD50 and they'll get 50% off their first month's membership.
That's fun. And how much is a membership generally? Is it 22?
It's $22 a month. Yes.
Okay. I love it. That's great. That's fun. It's a good little like date night for yourself to do something fun and unusual that you maybe haven't done before, right?
Yes, it is. And I know not for you, probably because you're immersed in the food industry. And I know you're so big on local, which I love about your cookbooks. I love reading the little stories about the local people. But,
Yeah.
a lot of us don't have, like, I love to entertain and I do have friends that entertain, but I don't have people necessarily close to me that just love it as much as I do and really want to learn. And so it's awesome that I get to hang out with these people all over the country that really do love it as much as I do.
Yes. Well, we'll put all this information in the show notes and you and I will connect on when we want to have the podcast distributed so that people can join. And it was really great to spend time with you. Thanks to Jilly in
Yes.
MN, my favorite Instagram friend and weekly disher, who hooked us up. Kristie, I'll connect with you after this podcast via email and we'll get all the details set up. But thanks for helping launch my book. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I appreciate the opportunity.
Yes, and we'll talk soon. Thanks for being a guest today. Oh, and I want to shout out your podcast real quick because we'll put a link to that too.
Thank you. It's called Happy Hostess.
Okay. It's really great. You have a lot of episodes on hostessing and fun, entertaining ideas. So, all right, Kristie, we'll connect in email.
Awesome. Thanks,
All
Stephanie.
right. Okay. Bye-bye.